John, you got a $3,000 bonus for qualifying on the pole at 5:42, but Austin Coyle, your mechanic crew chief, took the check.
Steve, I didn't get anything. This is a new year, and it's $3,500 for low ET. And you're right. Coyle's getting married in January, and I got stupid and stuck my neck out and told him he could have the money if he could make this heap run. And he made it run, and I'm going home broke again.
John Force won the battle here, but may have lost the war. John, a good job of hitting the net as you're supposed to, and you might be able to fix this car.
We always fix them, Steve.
That's true. You've done this in the past.
I double-checked the chute twice. I didn't shove my cable far enough. My error. That's just a stupid mistake. I knew it when it didn't blossom. I went for it again. It was just too late.
Well, John's okay. The car, a bit of damage, but as he said, we always fix them, Steve. John Force, that's one you might have thought you lost had you not stuck with it.
Steve, I made one of those all-time screw-ups. I left the starting line in high gear. I can't believe I did it. My car was weird acting. I went out there and just did everything wrong. Pedal had hit it, but I seen he was in trouble. I recovered it, reached down and shifted it in high gear, and I was in high gear. I got to apologize to my guys because they've worked hard, and I screwed it up, and the Lord just let us pull that one right out of the bag.
You've got a reprieve as you go to the semifinals. You'll never do that again, probably.
Oh, I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes before this thing's over, but that's a killer to be that dumb. It's dumb. It's the pressure. When I got in the glue box, the car was sideways coming out, and I had to pedal it. So I thought, well, I'll leave it in high gear and try to do another drive with it to save from wearing the clutch. And when I backed up, my whole program changed, and I never thought to put it back in low. And it was just one of those dumb.
Seems to me it takes a heck of a guy to admit it.
I'm a heck of a guy.
Okay, John Force goes into the semifinals with the Wendy's car. Well, John Force powers his way past Billy Meyer and into the semifinals. Good weekend for you so far, John.
Well, I think it hurt itself there. I heard some noises. It wasn't a rod in them, but a valve broke or something, or a push rod or a spring or something. But, yeah, Myers had trouble up there, and it just gave me a little time, to do a little thinking about that tree. I think, Steve, that tree's my biggest enemy. It scares me more than any racer I've ever raced, more than Perdome, more than McEwen. But I got me a little friendly deal going, and that tree will just hang on a little bit better. We'll share the money here.
Congratulations, John.
Is that great? Hey.
Oh, perfect. Everybody expected you to smoke the tires. It was the other way around.
Diamond P wasn't there at Montreal. They're finally here, thank God. Somebody's here to save me. That's right. It's really amazing. Driving these race cars is something, and I did the dry, and Coyle looked in and said, we're in trouble, buddy, and all that's left is the dashboard. Can you believe planning on a dashboard to win a race, and I flipped a few buttons, and that old heap worked. I can't believe it.
John Force, you're going to get another shot at the elusive final round, this time against Tim Gross.
Well, what can you say? People laughed at me when I hired Coyle because I was spending that kind of money, most of my budget, and I said it'd pay off, and we went around and around about a gear change down there, but he said the track don't appear to be there, and then Gross pulled out that 60, and Bernstein smoked the tires, and thank God for the gear change, because you can see it worked and it ran just as quick.
Indeed, but maybe some attention is going to be paid to the clutch this next one, because you do not have lane choice.
Well, that was more a tune-up run, believe it or not, on a clutch, and the track's good, and if I can give him some help with the motor and the driving end of it, we're way overdue, Steve. You know it. It's been coming in 100 years.
Absolutely.
Seems
like 200.
You outdrove Bruce Larson.
Why did he run quicker?
You bet he did.
What did he run?
He ran a 30-70 or 40.
Whoa, let me tell you something here. I was cheering down there for old Bernstein. Whip the snake, whip the snake. Everybody don't understand why. That was my shot at number 3. Snake had to go. Bless you, Kenny. He's been beating up on me all year. He finally gave me one back.
Did you know you had won?
Well, I tell you, he was right out the window, and I knew I cut a light, and the brain quit, wait a minute. I saw the light, and I was looking even at a red going out, and then I thought, get your mind back, because I knew I'd cut it close, but I really thought they was going to tell me a 440 or something. I'll take it.
Oh, boy, you got it.
Well, over the years, John Force has been critical of his own driving, but John, you won at driving identical elapsed times. You both ran 5:72.
I don't know about the driving. I'll tell you something. I cried to Coyle for an hour about the rain. I says, don't want to hear about Chi-Town consistency. He says, you want to go for it, step on it. And I said, that's right. Them guys have whipped me the last 10 times I raced them. And I said, if I'm going out, then we're going to go out. And doggone it, if we pulled her out of the bag, huh?
You're going to get another shot at Bernstein. He beat you 2 weeks ago.
I want a shot at Bernstein. We got a good racetrack here. I can't believe that they did that here. And I ain't saying what I always say, oh, I'm going to do it this time, but I'm going to do it this time.
John Force is down here, out of breath, excited. First final round of the year. You've been waiting for this one.
Long time. Like I said, I'm going back to driving a truck. This stuff will give me a heart attack. Man, my guys, we talked, and I said, get through the window and get a hold of me and hang on to my hand a second. You got to calm me down because mentally my mind's not been right. And John got a hold of my hand through the roof hatch. He wouldn't let go, and I thinking, let go, let go. And I seen Oswald come in. Hey, old hunk run. She leave on time? Great.
Steve, if John gets much more excited, we may have to hire an interpreter. What did he say?
John Force out the top of his car. He and his fans have been waiting a dozen years for this. You have just won $50,000 in the Big Bud Shootout.
This ain't time for this here.
Yes, it is. You were beaten in the final last year. Everybody knew how badly you wanted, and you've done it, John. You've done it for your crew, for yourself.
My sponsors, my crew, my wife, Austin Coyle, baddest person I know. And all them people up there, I love all of you.
And they love you.
Got no words here, man.
I understand. John Force has been waiting so long for this. An earlier national event win in Montreal, Canada was not televised. Many of his fans were unable to see it. And here is the crew for John Force. The biggest payday in this man's professional drag racing career, which started on the drag strips of Australia and New Zealand. It was the only place he could get paid to race. No longer. Well, John stuck throttle and all. That lane choice by 1/100th proves to be maybe a big advantage here against Billy Meyer.
Well, as you know, in drag racing, it's anybody's race. But yeah, it's a good feeling to see that in your opponent's lane and know that that little bit of whatever it took to get over in that other lane really helped.
If you were Meyer and had lane choice, would you switch right now if you'd taken that far lane?
If I was Meyer and had lane, well, there's no doubt about it. It's psychological, but you know, Billy's plenty tricky too. He can slide down anything that's slick. The guys don't get that kind of cash if they ain't slick. Remember that. What happened to him?
A season of frustration has finally resulted in a win. You hole-shotted him. That's what happened to him.
Got almost red lighted. I was going to have a heart attack. I can't even believe that happened. Hey, you know what else is happening?
What?
Snake and Perdome, they're all leaving, and somebody gets to get a crown. I just stepped up here to the plate and took it. What do you think of that?
I think your 33 beat his 28. John Force begged the crew not to do this if he won. He said, I'm not young anymore. I can't support all of you. They didn't listen.
They always hurt me when they do that.
You won that one for us, buddy. What did we do? You did.
Almost red-lighted. Almost red-lighted.
The celebration continues.
Tell my kids the old man's on his way home. I'm coming home, buddy, for my heart quit.
John, we wouldn't want that to happen. Then we wouldn't have you for an interview in the next show.
Well, that's kind of a heartbreaking way to go, but I think you made one heck of a run through that lane.
Yeah, she was slick, and Cole made a few changes up there, and it showed. We were happy that the performance come back, and the car came back and ran 60s again, and we were content with that.
You bet a 568 with a massive oil down that was speaks highly of your driving, John, and the NHRA's cleanup crew.
It was slick, and as far as, you know, we got down there. We're going on to win this race. You know, there was big money here, but we got it yesterday, and maybe Oswald, he's a heck of a competitor to that team, and maybe he'll get it today, and don't matter, my bank wouldn't have taken that much money anyway.
Well, Dave, here you can see the blower belt has come off of John Force's car, and that happened well past the finish line. John, you really backdoored this to 265 miles an hour.
No back door, no air, throttle stuck, bitch, and no ride down through it. I couldn't believe it. And all of a sudden, I couldn't get her out of the floorboard, and I was jerking on my foot, and I knew she was going to go any second, and I had to jerk the fuel shut off. I had no choice.
Well, a great driving job and quick thinking on the part of John Force, or he might have been off the end of this racetrack. A 570 gives you lane choice.
First of all, let me say, no thinking at all applied there. Sheer 10 years of doing this, and thank God it did what it did. Now tell me what I did.
Steve, I hope you understood what he said.